Hello students, the lesson we are going to read today from your English literature book, that is Gulmohar Language for Life, is The Starting Point. It's the third lesson in your book, The Starting Point. First of all students, I would like to tell you all that this lesson is an extract from the autobiography of a very famous man, the famous Indian athlete Milkha Singh. Yes, you heard it right. The movie which had come few years back, Bhag Milkha Bhag, which was starred by Farhan Akhtar on screen and Sonam Kapoor. Yes, the same story. That movie was based on autobiography of Milkha Singh. The name of that autobiography is The Race of My Life. Okay, so the lesson we are going to read, the starting point, is an extract from that autobiography itself, or in simple English I can say it is a part. The lesson we are going to read, the starting point, is an extract or a small part of that autobiography written by Milkha Singh. I would like to share one more thing. The 90 years old Milkha Singh didn't finish his autobiography alone. He took help of his beloved daughter Sonia Sanvalka. Yes, his daughter Sonia also helped Milkha Singh to finish his autobiography in a better way. Okay? Students, Milkha Singh is a Sikh born. He's still there, he's 90 years old, a very handsome old man who is a very famous Indian athlete. He's a Sikh born around 1930s. Okay, he was born before India got freedom, and he was born in the parts of Pakistan, the undivided India. At that time, that area came under India itself, undivided India, which is now a part of Pakistan. Okay, so students, the extract means the lesson we are reading, the starting point, describes the start of Milkha Singh's athletic career. Okay, it describes the start of Milkha Singh's athletic career. This is the only reason that this lesson has been named as the starting point. And also in this lesson, we'll be reading about the involvement of various people who made a positive impact in the early stage of Milkha Singh's learning as an athlete. Okay? So students, when you read this lesson, the publisher of the book has discussed few more points about Milkha Singh, which I would like to read. Pay attention. Milkha Singh, also known as the Flying Sikh, is a former Indian track and field sprinter. He represented India in the Commonwealth Games in 1958 and the Summer Olympic Games of 1956, 1960 and 1964. As a child, he used to run 10 kilometers to school and back. So running long distances came naturally to him. In his youth, he joined the army where he was introduced to running. Having found his calling on the track, Milkha Singh went on to win several awards for India at various international events. He is best remembered for his 400 meters race at the 1960 Olympic Games. Okay, so in that particular race, he made India's new and the very first national record in race. Students, when you read through this chapter, the starting point, you'll understand that how passionate Milkha Singh was for running. How day after day, night after night, he practices with all that self-empowerment, how passionate he was towards achieving his goal. While you read down the chapter, at the early paragraphs of the chapter, you'll see that just to earn a single, a glass of milk, a good glass of milk, he runs. He practices running to win the races, and how slowly, slowly, few years, few months down the line, when you read through the paragraph, you will see that how slowly, slowly his motivation, his aim, his goal, his ambition changes. How just from just from earning that one glass of milk, how he changes and turns his ambition towards winning or achieving something for our nation. Okay, the main idea, or you can say the main centerpiece, or what we say in our day-to-day lives, the moral of the lesson we are going to read is that you can achieve anything in life. You can achieve anything in life. It just depends how desperate you are to achieve it. Desperate you are to achieve it means that how passionate you are, how excited you are. Okay? So students, I'm sure few of you must have surely watched the movie Bhag Milkha Bhag. You will be able to relate the starting scenes of the movie, because in that movie the director has showcased the entire autobiography of Milkha Singh, the writer. But here in this lesson, it is just an extract, the starting point of his athletic career, which came out to be a turning point as well in his life. So I'll just read. Three fortunate incidents that occurred in January 1953, when I was a new recruit in the army, changed the course of my life. Here, I means Milkha Singh, because why I is written, because this is an autobiography, means Milkha Singh is writing about his own life. If somebody else must have written about him, we would have termed it as biography. But here Milkha Singh is narrating his own life, his own achievements, his own career. So here we read the whole story in first person. So the story goes like this. Three fortunate incidents that occurred in January 1953, when I was a new recruit in the army, means when Milkha Singh was a new recruit in the army, changed the course of my life. Okay, he's sharing about three main incidents in the year 1953 which changed his entire life. He defines himself as a new recruit in the army. Students, you must have heard about army jawans. Army jawans means, in English, new recruit. Who are recruits? A person who has recently joined the army, Indian Army, or the armed forces. So in English, we call army jawans as army recruits. After the morning roll call one Saturday, there was an announcement that a 6-mile race was to be held the next day. All 500 recruits would participate in this event. The top 10 would be exempted from fatigue duty and be given a glass of milk every day during the training period. Okay, so we see here that one day what happens is that there was this announcement made that there will be this 6-mile race amongst all the army jawans, means amongst all the army recruits. What is the number given? 500 army jawans. 500 recruits were supposed to take part in it. And what was the reward for it? The top 10 would be exempted from fatigue duty. What is fatigue duty? Duties such as cleaning the entire hostel, or doing dishes, means washing utensils, cleaning all the clothes, means apart from their main work for which they were there in the army. Apart from that, all the household work. Okay, so the award was that whoever wins, whoever the top 10 participants, the top 10 athletes who win that 600-mile race will be exempted from all the fatigue duty. Fatigue duty means all those cleaning and washing work, as well as they were rewarded to be given a glass of milk every day, not only on the day of winning but every day. So when we move in this story in later parts, in later paragraphs, we see that how just to gain that one glass of milk, how Milkha Singh participates or involves himself in that 6-mile race. You know, when you research about Milkha Singh, when you read about Milkha Singh saw a lot of deprivation. He starved a lot for food. He was not physically fit. He was not that healthy enough to participate in a race like of 600 miles. But just to earn that one glass of milk, he dared to passionately participate in that race. Third para goes like this. The next morning, we reported at the starting line wearing canvas shoes, vests, and khaki shorts. The whistle blew and we set off. You have seen how the whistle is blown, okay, while we participate in race, even at our schools. Likewise, filled with a sense of mission. Filled with a sense of mission means a feeling that he was doing a very important task. For him, participating in that race and earning that, achieving that one glass of milk was very rewarding, was very satisfying. Okay, so he writes here that he was filled with a sense of mission. I ran as fast as I could. The reward of getting a glass of milk was a big treat for me. Okay, as I had suffered great want and deprivation in my childhood. Deprivation means lacking something, especially money. I took the lead in the first 2 or 3 miles. I would rest a while if I felt tired and then run again. When I saw others catching up, luck was with me that day and I finished sixth in the race. His agenda was that he used to run 2-3 miles, he used to take rest and start again whenever he saw that somebody is overpowering him, somebody is overtaking him. Okay? Next para. The names of the 10 recruits who qualified were announced before a large gathering of almost 300 people. Friends, even strangers, wildly applauded and thumped me on my back, shouting, Shabash! Okay? There was a large crowd of 300 people. His friends and even people who were not his friends were applauding for him. Applauding means they were praising him, they were clapping for him. Okay? And the writer Milkha Singh writes here that they were thumping his back, means they were patting his back, saying Shabash. You know why author has written here the word Shabash? He writes here Shabash so that we can understand his roots. Roots means from where he is coming, to give that sense of Indian touch, to give us that glimpse that he is purely Indian. He has used the word Shabash here instead of writing good or something else. Friends, even strangers, wildly applauded and thumped me on my back, shouting, Shabash. I was quite overwhelmed. Overwhelmed means he felt so emotional. And appreciation I received that night, by the attention and appreciation he received that night. And this incident became the starting point of my career as an athlete. Okay, So, what is the extract? What is the lesson's name? The starting point. That was the first time he got into his track pants. He got on the track to run just for that one glass of milk every day, and that changed his entire life. That changed the entire life of the very famous athlete Milkha Singh. As part of our training, we had to run 6 miles every day. As part of their training, all the 10 athletes who had won that match, who had won that race, they had to run 6 miles every day. I eagerly looked forward to the end of the practice sessions when we would get the promised glass of milk. Our instructor was Havaldar Gurudev Singh. Their instructor was Havaldar Gurudev Singh. Students, Havaldar, from Havaldar, right from Havaldar till brigadier and then colonels and then lieutenants, these all are rankings in armed forces. So their instructor was Havaldar Gurudev Singh, who had been with the army for about 15 years. Although his task was to train new recruits, means to train new army jawans, he was a good runner himself and he continued to participate in races. Now in this paragraph, the writer Milkha Singh talks about his trainer, his instructor, or you can say his mentor, Havaldar Gurudev Singh, who served in army forces, who was serving in army forces for last 15 years. Okay, and he was still running, even being in that very old age, he was still participating in all the races. Gurudev was a taciturn, no nonsense kind of a man. So here is a new learning for you all. Gurudev was a taciturn, no nonsense kind of a guy. Taciturn means somebody who is a very, who's a very reserved kind of a person, an introvert, very reserved, and very serious kind, who never participates in any rubbish or any non-serious talks. So he was a taciturn, no nonsense kind of a man. His tough exterior hid his softer, gentler side. Like you must have seen so many people we see, who look very serious, who look very rude and very strict. But when we talk to them, when we meet them, they turn out to be a very gentle and soft person from their hearts. Likewise, author tells about his instructor Havaldar Gurudev that he was a very serious kind of a person, and his tough exterior hid his softer, gentler inside. He would run with us during training sessions, prodding us with a danda, shouting, "Run, boys, run." Prodding means student gently urging somebody, okay, gently asking somebody to do something. So what Havaldar Gurudev used to do, their instructor, he used to prod them with a danda. Again author is using that very typical Indian word, just like shabash, danda, to bring us that feel of Indian touch, that he is an Indian athlete belonging to his very roots. He would run with us during training sessions, prodding us with a danda, shouting, "Run, boys, run. Run for our regiment." What regiment? Army regiment. I strongly believe that he was instrumental in motivating me to strive to become a world-class athlete. As I told you while starting the chapter, that in 1960 Olympic Games, Milkha Singh won medal for us. So he was a world-class athlete. And he says that somewhere Havaldar Gurudev Singh was a motivating actor of whatever till date Milkha Singh has achieved in his life. Okay? Even today when I think of his danda, I bow my head in respect. He says that till now I have grown at such a ripe old age. If we talk about about present 2020, he's 90 years old, but he tells in his autobiography that if still I remember about my teacher, my instructor, my motivator, my mentor, and I remember about his dandas, and my head bows in respect. At times when we think about some of our teachers who are very strict, but very good at teaching, they're very humble. We even thinking about them, we feel a kind of respect. Likewise, 6 weeks into our training, the center held a cross-country race. Cross-country race means across fields, means in an open field. There, cross country means no tracks on a simple open field. 6 weeks into our training, the center held a cross country race. In this event, Gurudev came first and I came second. Again, I became the cynosure of all eyes. Cynosure means center of attraction. He was into limelight after winning that race. His instructor achieved the first position and Milkha Singh achieved the second position. So the one more word you are learning today is cynosure, means center of attraction, into the focus of everyone's attention. I was 20 or 21 at that time, but looked much younger. I was asked to take part in the brigade meet in Hyderabad, where I was asked to run in the 400-meter event. I was greatly surprised because I did not even know what 400 meters meant. I had always run 6 miles, but it was during the brigade meet that the second incident occurred, which made me even more determined to become a good athlete. See, students, while I started reading the lesson, we read that 3 fortunate incidents that occurred, which changed his life. First incident was, what was that first incident? That for the first time he was introduced to the 6-mile race, which let him earn that 1 glass of milk every day. That motivated him. And second incident that motivated him was brigade meet in Hyderabad, which was a 400-meter race. In the first practice run in Hyderabad, I took off my canvas shoes and ran barefoot. Barefoot means without even wearing any canvas or any shoes. Milkha Singh ran for 400-meter race. Gurudev clapped his hands for me to start. I did and clocked 63 seconds. He finished that race in 63 seconds. Just imagine once. I was eager to run 4 more rounds. After all, that was what I was used to, running 6 miles every day. He used to run for 6 miles, and for him running for 400 was nothing. So he was very passionate to run again. So running a quarter mile seemed far too easy. I continued to practice for many days to improve my time, and soon I was running 400 meters in less than a minute. Just think of it, students, to finish 400 meters in less than a minute. What an applaudable speed that would have been. The day of the meet dawned bright and clear. As I made my way to the stadium, I noticed some men who were surrounded by senior officers and their families. The men wore vests with India written on them in bold letters. See, students, we Indians are generally in habit of watching cricket, cricket over TV and YouTubes, etc. So we see cricketers wearing that T-shirt or a vest with India's logo on it, with India's name on it. So likewise, when the day of brigade meet in Hyderabad came, when he reached to the stadium, the author of this lesson, the starting point, when Milkha Singh reached to the stadium, he saw there were senior officers with their families, and there were men who were wearing t-shirts of India written on it in bold letters. Okay, they seem to have an air of power and prestige about them. Air of power and prestige means they seemed very important and very respectable people. I was very curious to know who they were. When Milkha Singh saw these men with India's t-shirt, wearing India's t-shirt, he was very curious. He was very excited to know that who were they? That who were they? And Milkha Singh was told later, I was told later that they were athletes who had represented India in international sporting events. That was my eureka moment. That was my, he says that when I saw those men wearing t-shirts of India written on it, and when my friends told me that they were very important people who had, who had won medals for India on an international platform, I was, I was very passionate from within. And he says that that was my eureka moment. Now class, what is eureka moment? Eureka moment means the time when he realized what he wanted to become in life. This phrase Eureka moment is originated from Greek language. Eureka moment means in Greek, I have found it. Eureka moment in Greek means I have found it. So that was the time when actually for the very first time Milkha Singh realized that he wanted to be an Indian athlete in his career. That was his ambition. And not only that, but he wanted to represent India on an international platform. See, he writes here, I was told later that they were athletes who had represented India in international sporting events. That was my eureka moment. I made a solemn promise to myself that I would not rest until I earned a place in that special world too. The world of Indian athletes who had the privilege of representing their country. He says that I made a solemn promise. Solemn promise means very sincerely. He made a sincere promise within his heart that he will achieve, that he will, win awards and accolades for India once in his lifetime, and he will represent his country, India, on an international platform for sure. He writes ahead, I wanted to wear blazers and vests with the name of my country written on them. I resolved that I would make my country proud of me. Now he had reached onto a point that just to earn that one glass of milk wasn't enough, or to win medals, or to win applause or claps or that shabash moments were not enough for him. He wanted to wear that India written in bold letters t-shirts. He wanted to wear that, and he actually wanted to represent India on a world level, international platform. That was what he had in his mind. He wanted to make his country proud. See, he writes here, I would make my country proud of me. I was very nervous when we reported at the starting line before the race. This was the first time that I was competing in such an event, and that too before thousands of spectators. Spectators means people who were watching them run. I had little idea about the procedures and the technicalities for such events. I had little idea about means he had no idea. Hardly any idea he had about the technicalities of running. When we play cricket, there are certain technicalities. There is a way, there are certain rules of playing cricket. There are certain rules of playing basketball, football. Likewise, there are certain rules or technicalities of running in such events. So he says that he had little idea about the technicalities to run. I came fourth in the race. He used to run for six miles, and even in that race, which was not even 6 miles, he came on fourth place. He was a bit disappointed. See, students, children, you know, you know, when we are very passionate about something, at times we get a bit discouraged. Okay, we get discouraged a bit at times. We get disappointed, but we should never lose hope. That is what we see from Milkha Singh's life. He says, I came fourth in the race. I was disappointed but not disheartened. I had raced with star athletes, the national champions. Okay, and when we read ahead, we see that how day after day, night after night, he used to practice. He used to practice a lot. Okay, he says that I gave more time to practice. I was given better facilities later on. More nutritious diet was given to him from army, and special attention was paid to his grooming. And he says that returning from Hyderabad and winning that fourth place, army, army started helping him more. They gave him more time to practice. They gave him more nutritious diet. Not only that, one glass of milk, but more nutritious diet. They groomed him, his personality, his overall look, his hairstyle, his dress sense, everything was entirely changed. So students, we see that how beautifully Milkha Singh has narrated his life, the starting point of his athletic career, the starting point of his life, that how motivated he was, how passionate he was, how hardworking he was, how he used to toil hard every day. Even after having no time to practice, he used to practice, late hours in the night. So again, students, I would like to repeat the moral of the chapter we have just read, the starting point, that you can achieve anything in life, my dear children. You can achieve anything in life. It just depends how desperate you are to achieve it, or how passionate you are to achieve it. I hope you loved the story I have just narrated. It was just a part, an extract of the autobiography, The Race of My Life, written by Milkha Singh. And just you guys are at home, sitting at home, because of the corona pandemic that has spread in the entire world. You can enjoy the movie sitting at home, and you can learn more about Milkha Singh based on the movie Bhag Milkha Bhag. Thank you.